Like I could get pussy anytime I want. I'm married, but still, it'd be pretty interesting just to be like, try something new today. I don't really feel like I'm cheating because not a human being.
Yeah, I guess.
Unless you get shocked.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of be fucked up.
You leave her for a you leave her for a fucking USB drive. Sorry, man. She just got the right curves.
For a fucking cardboard cutout, so I can leave Meg for a USB drive.
Whatever, man. I'm gonna do it.
Oh man,
She treats me good, all right.
that's fucking jokes.
All right, we're ready to go. What do you guys?
Oh, we weren't live.
Yeah.
5. Well, I have to record it all. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
We've never started a podcast like that.
No,
we
we
just always
haven't.
talk about shit.
What's this Bro to Bro podcast?
Featuring Richard from Six Side.
What's going on, guys?
Yes.
Nice.
How are we doing today?
Good.
Yeah?
Not bad.
I love it.
Oh,
So
man.
tell us a little bit about what you do.
What do I do? I mean, I've been an entrepreneur at heart. Growing up, different kind of businesses. Ran a family business for a while
Nice.
in the detailing space, automotive detailing space.
Nice.
Got into Six Side about 5 years ago. Just for opportunity, just being an entrepreneur, saw an opportunity within the terminology of the city. Drake obviously popularizing the name.
What happened with that recently? Didn't he not win the rights over the name Six Side or some sure Six? Not Six Side rather, but
Right.
Six or
So
whatever the
there
fuck
was
it
a guy, I saw it because when I applied for the trademark patent before, back in 2014, a DJ actually owns the term Six IX. Oh, it's
Nice.
your buddy. Okay,
No
yeah.
That's so dope.
Yeah. Maybe we should get him on here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Next
so-
on the podcast.
Yeah. So Drake actually did the clothing patent of it for apparel after, so you could only get the apparel rights, but the DJ had it for entertainment wise.
Oh, okay. So did he maybe like trademark the visual of what it looked like on the apparel, like a logo trademark, basically?
No, I think it's the terminology before apparel. The DJ guy.
6IX.
Yeah, the 6IX
It's
has
so
it
weird
for
to me.
entertainment.
The like that's so finicky. It's like, no, that's mine. No, but I can put it on shirts though. You own the rest of it, but I can put it on a fucking
Yeah,
shirt.
I mean, I guess it's kind of like how patents
Fist
work
yourself.
in terms of exactly what industry you
Yeah.
apply
Well, it's like
to,
you
right?
too, Johnny. Like you have Mars.
Yeah.
You have Mars. I don't know what exactly do you have. Mars.
I have Mars Music Art Recording Studio.
Yeah. So there's also our garage doors in the back are called Mars something.
Yeah.
There's another Mars recording studio
yeah.
down like.
That's right.
I guess
Like
it's
Mars
conflict.
Discovery.
But what's weird to me is though if he owns Six with the 6 IX, is that what you mean?
Yes.
But that to me, like that's a unique trademark. Like that's a unique way of writing something.
Yes.
Like Nomads, I own Nomads with the line over the O, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So I don't know the word Nomads, but you can't use the word Nomads with the line over the O at all in Canada, or I can fuck with you. So that's what I mean. When you see someone that writes at like 6IX, to me, it's like you own that trademark visually. So that's where I guess it's a little bit of a gray area for me. It seems kind of strange.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I applied for the actual logo with the line down the middle and
Yeah.
the six, but the process is so technical. You have to be
Yes.
the sizing and where it's placed and what it can be placed on.
It's a long process too
Yeah,
for
it's all-
trademarks.
yes, it
like
is.
like get a corporation up in 15 minutes. Like honestly.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
you can own the name rights to something. Trademark takes like over 2 years. I'm still in the it's first to file, but I'm still in the middle of trademarking two things. It's just fucking.
Just weird though. I thought there was a thing like if I do Mickey Mouse's voice on something and I don't say it's Mickey Mouse, if I say it's like like Dingo the dog, they're like that motherfucker. That sounds like Mickey Mouse. We're gonna sue you.
See, but that's
Disney,
the other
don't
thing.
sue
Is
us.
it's the name, image, likeness thing too. It's
Yeah,
like,
but like I feel like that's so similar though, right? That's,
Well, this is just a word, right?
yeah.
But
in the helmet.
yeah.
yeah, that would turn into a big lawsuit though with the Mickey Mouse game. But I think he actually won that one. But it doesn't look like Mickey Mouse. It looks like a really fucked up mouse.
Yeah.
It's like that's like they're saying, well, we own mice now. Fuck off.
yeah, you get. We own all the mice.
Yeah, I don't really know. I mean, for me, I find it to be interesting that you can trademark and own the intellectual property value of things like that, but it's a super gray area. At the same time, though, we're in Canada and the market's so fucking small. Like,
Yeah,
Gives
that's
a
definitely
shit.
true.
Yeah.
I mean, you sell your product globally. Okay, I don't own it in Canada. Great. I'll only sell online all over the rest of the fucking world. Perfect. Who cares?
Yeah.
Before
mean-
it gets knocked off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that must be a clusterfuck of a business right now. Like, you do a lot of online stuff, like a lot
Yes.
of e-com, right?
Yes.
Like, do you do any e-com with anything like that that's trademarked or anything like that? Or does that really come into your...
No, it doesn't really play into that. I mean, I keep my eye out, especially when the brand was at its peak about 2 years ago. I'd go around different places to see if they're printed. Torontoverse, everybody gets printed everywhere. You see
I have
it in the
Nomads versus
Oh
everybody.
yeah. Our boys are right
Yeah.
Nomads versus everybody.
Well, the
That's
actual
jokes.
legitimate Toronto versus
Yeah.
everybody, you'll see it in the flea market. So I'm a very I guess, keen on looking out for it. If I see it popping up everywhere, there's been 1 or 2 screen printers in the city that have tried printing it. Send them a message like, hey, you actually can't print that. Some were respectful. Someone put up a fight.
Yeah, of course.
And then I got like the entire following to just go after them until they apologize. That was pretty interesting. But no, I keep my eye out for it, but haven't really, to be honest, knock on wood. Nothing's really come up with that in terms of the brand.
Toronto versus everybody's yours?
No.
Oh, no. Okay.
I thought you got the notes for the podcast.
No, I don't do that. I'm fresh off the go, bro.
Wheelhouse, bro. Wheelhouse.
Yeah. No. So this is more Johnny's place. Johnny's the businessman. I'm the funny man. So I'm just over here with the bell. I'm gonna be chiming in every so often. You see me?
Cool. I got it.
All right.
Yeah.
That's jokes.
Yeah. I'm gonna ask a lot of weird questions.
I think the Toronto versus everybody. I feel like that was a girl. That has something.
Well,
to
it
do
was
with
based
that.
off the Detroit versus everybody, where they had that whole, I guess, I don't know if it was a lawsuit, but that whole rebuttal thing where it's like, starting in Detroit, but they actually trademarked that for the U.S. and not Canada.
Right.
So they were able to use it. I think it was very similar font, same way it was laid out. The brand did very well, though.
Yeah, people just don't care about Canada. Like when I trademark my stuff here in Canada, like, oh, do you want to do it in the States? Well, how much does it cost? Like it's like 3 times as much. I'm like, no, fucking no, not right now.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna bother. It's okay. Not a huge thing for me.
Yeah.
So how's Six Side? How's that going? What else are you doing with that brand? I've seen some of the stuff you're doing, like this 60 seconds in
Yes.
six.
Yeah.
And
So apparel has become a very competitive market.
yeah.
I've moved a bit off. I did some restructuring. Took about 6 months off the brand.
Yeah.
Last year, 2018, kind of restructured, kind of figure out what I want to do. We were the first to market with Six Side and the term the Six. Everybody and their mom popped up after, which is great. Very competitive market in terms of apparel. I learned a lot. Pretty much learned all of it myself. Followed kind of Damon John, Fubu's whole mentality.
Nice. Yeah. I
Read
watched
his
someone
books.
that's done what
Yeah.
they've done, so you kind of get a
Yeah,
good feel for
kinda
what it
get
is.
a-
Yeah, I can respect that.
Yeah, did that hustling, the whole part of it. Now with the brand, I'm trying to move more into more of a platform for Toronto. It's like Mars, for example, is a great idea and what it's for. Kind of, giving that another platform. What I find with a lot of local artists and guys that are up and coming underneath, artists, creators, creatives, whoever you may be, whatever you're doing in the city, you might not get that Block TO feature or that Narcity feature or some of that. There are a lot of other platforms.
Oh,
in the
okay.
city.
I see. You're starting like a media aggregate for people that are on the
Kind
way
of,
up.
you know,
Okay,
like,
yeah. I see.
Kind
I
of
see
like
what
I'm
you're
gonna use Vice for an example. Kind of like a mini Vice for the city, but more for Toronto itself.
saying. Yeah.
Toronto is just like I've been fortunate enough to go to LA for a few times in the past couple of years, and that's just everyone's creating. Like your Uber driver, you're your last drop before he goes to like his audition.
Yeah.
And the girl making like tacos for you, she's writing a script and she's acting, and so it's just that hustle. And
I love that.
Everybody's
I love that
doing
about
something.
LA. I think that's my favorite place so far of
Yeah.
all the places I've been.
Yes, I love
it's
it.
like everybody there is so ambitious.
Yes.
Everybody there is trying so hard, and they all look good, and it's just like it creates such an atmosphere. You're like you just want to go crush life.
Yes, everyone's up to
love
something.
That's
Everyone's
the
doing-
thing, though. Everyone goes down there to make it. They're like, all right, hope this works.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
it's like no one. You don't see the track pants and the garbage look. You just see everybody trying their best all the
yeah.
time.
Well, there's like 30 beaches. You have to look good, kind of thing.
100%.
Like,
I love that.
there's no winter, sunshine.
I can't go
good.
there. I can't go there.
I can't go there. I only go to visit and come back. Yeah.
Fuck.
But I
Raining
feel,
this week. Yeah, I'll see you guys.
Yeah,
I'll be there.
I feel Toronto's becoming like that, right? We're just on the cusp of that. We already are. There's so many artists in the city. There's so many creators, people doing so many different things.
Yeah.
It's just we need a platform. Like, we don't necessarily get as much as respect from the U.S. as we should. Definitely, we are a spot. Toronto's now a spot for any tour coming to the city. They have to stop in Toronto. So we are getting a bit of exposure. The argument goes whether it's for Drake or not for Drake.
I mean, I think you have things that act as a catalyst.
Yes.
But I think we've had a lot of stuff. I mean, you can even look at Bieber, even though I can't stand the kid for what he's done. I mean, his music and what he's done for business is one thing, but how he behaves as a human being is terrible.
It's also fucking. He's also what, like 16 or 17?
Oh man, he does dumb. He's been doing dumb shit. He
think it's
stayed
like-
out of the
I
media.
know, but they're like
the
here.
last 8 months he stayed out of the media.
But seriously, now he's 22. I was doing some fucked up shit when I was 22 years old.
Yeah, you just went
Like,
on the same
questionable.
platform. I get it. But like, I've just seen some things from that kid where I'm like, dude.
Well, it's
you
a
have
kid
such-
from
He's
Stratford
married
with,
to a
like,
rocket.
$50 million
It's
now. So.
way more. That's
Yeah,
what's
way
fucked
more
up.
than
It's
that,
like, what are you
yeah.
gonna do it?
Yeah.
Anyway, totally different thing. I get off topic. I love to digress. But I mean, he did a lot for the city in terms of bringing entertainment and value here.
Mm-hmm.
So whether it's Drake, whether it's him, and there's so much more coming out of the city. It seems all the time right
Yes.
now. It's a hub. It's a hotspot.
It is.
Well, that's what Illmind was saying. He would say it to the group, obviously, just to pump the tires. But when he talked to us afterwards,
Yeah.
he's like, every time I come to Toronto, these are the best. These are always the best sessions. The people that are showing their beats and what they've made, and it's like this is always the most constructed. These are always the most professional people I've ever had in my seminars.
Yeah,
coming from
I
Toronto.
feel it's interesting. I feel like there's some sort of cycle to it, and I think you do your best to try to pick it off when it's going to happen, and you seize it. And I think that right now Toronto's entering sort of this cycle where for the next, I don't know, 2 to 4, maybe 6 years max. 6 years I think is a bit of a stretch, but I think it's going to be a big hotspot. I think
I
whatever
really
you
think
can
so.
do here, like if you're from Toronto and you're spending time in the city, now's your fucking time.
Yeah.
Go fucking win because everybody's looking at you.
Yeah, no, I definitely believe
I
that.
agree with like the 6. I didn't realize that's where you're going with the brand. I really
Yes.
like that. I think that's smart.
Yeah, so
using
more
it as
of-
that aggregate sort of concept.
Yeah, so you know people can find other. So a bit off of the clothing. I mean, there's still some pieces we call it kind of fan merch that people like the logo.
Yeah.
But I mean, the apparel game is just costly to stock the sizing, to know what sizing it is.
To me, it seems like so. Like I've been an
It's
entrepreneur.
played out a bit.
Yeah, well, it's like I'm an entrepreneur for. Fuck, honestly, I started selling weed when I was 15. It's almost been 20 years since I started being an entrepreneur. And I mean, to me, I did the clothing game with when I was like 21, Good Boy Clothing, 22
Okay.
I was in that. So I had a chunk of that, and just from that get-go, I was like, how the fuck do you mitigate risk in this business? Which
Ordering too much or not ordering
Yeah,
enough
like,
because then you get their discount.
You're
or-
sitting on $60,000 of product,
Yeah,
and it's
yeah,
like,
yeah.
oh, we're only in 7 stores. I'm like, why the fuck do you have $60,000 in product then? He's made a huge mistake. Well, my uncle told me this was the right move.
Made
Your
a
uncle
huge
fucked
mistake.
you.
Yeah. I remember there was a time where I got a lot of emails or inquiries like, hey, everything was unisex off the jump, right? So
Okay, yeah.
Way to go.
and girls would buy the smaller sizes. I got
Yeah.
extra small things.
Smart
Then
right
the
now.
girls
Yeah.
would say, you should make female wear, like female cut. So I went out. I think we did a run of 750 pieces.
Yeah.
Same design, but all female cut.
Yeah.
I think I sold like 7 pieces.
No.
Right? And then
Feels so bad
yeah,
for you.
and then like
Expensive rags.
right,
Shit.
and then the girls would come back and be like, "Hey, do you have the other one?" I'm like, "Are you kidding me? You just told me to order this." So like, obviously we got rid of it after, but just like the fashion changes so much. Like we could mock up a
pivot,
design
yeah.
tonight, get it out there, screen print it like next week. It's out there. Then when it's ready to hit the shelves, that trend's over.
Done. Yeah, it's like, how do you mitigate that? Like, is it, to me, like, I'm thinking,
Made to order is one way.
yeah, I was going to say online, really,
Yeah,
is your
online
game.
made to
Yeah.
order. The thing is that your quality can get compromised. A lot of guys that I know also within the the Toronto scene.
Yeah.
Some guys are going overseas. The problem with going overseas, everything I've done stayed in the city.
Overseas
From
takes
the
too much
branding
time.
to the marketing to the printing,
Gotta be more
everything was done.
expensive too, eh? Yeah.
It
Well,
works out cheaper. The thing
It
is that
does. It just takes time.
yeah, it takes time.
Oh, it's actually okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
So we
so
grab
if
hats
you-
from China.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
And
yeah,
the,
sure,
the
sure.
sti- we grab stitched hats from China for Nacho Bar for Nomads. They're landed out the door for $7. So it's like you're a minimum of 12 here. So you save a substantial amount of money, but it's just like you're like, yeah, no, it'll be 4 weeks. It's gonna be fucking 11 weeks.
Yeah, yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah, and the problem is that even with sizing, so if you're running your orders overseas and you buy, let's say 1,000 medium red
Yeah.
or black, right? When that's sold out, you're like, you have a medium? No, it's
Nah.
like 3 months before you.
Yeah,
get it. Do you want a
fuck,
large?
too.
Like you're not gonna reorder just medium.
No.
So you've gotta, if you know your brand's gonna do well and you're really in it. Advice for somebody starting out: if you've proven the concept, you've tested it. Sure, run your order overseas for your first 1,000 shirts or
Yeah.
2,000 shirts or whatever you want to do. The problem though with running it overseas, also the sizing. If you're
Different.
not doing cut and sew
Yeah.
from scratch, like the whole process was a learning process. Right? I never got into the cut and sew. That's kind of where I wanted to lead it to, but as coming out, I just go, how do I evolve the platform? Using the platform, using the credentials it has, the people that so many artists that we work with. How do we turn this into something where Toronto's headed, like you're saying?
Yeah, so basically you use the clothing sort of as your starting point. And Now
Yes.
you're like, I've created a platform where now the next step is, okay, here's how I can utilize what I've already built.
Of course.
Yeah,
I
smart.
always knew there was an expiry. When I started the brand, I told people, I go, look, 6 or 6 side has either a year left to it, 6 months, 6 years, 10 years.
Yeah.
Certain people still refer to Toronto as T-Dot.
Yeah.
It obviously has an expiry before it turns, the 6 side goes away or it fades away. As long as Drake is kind of relevant, it's somewhat relevant.
Yeah.
But I mean, you see like Bell has a campaign, their billboards out here, it says coverage in the 6. So corporate.
As soon as corporate guys, they
Yeah.
things die. When it
Yeah,
happens.
so
it's
it's like
I'm just like,
It's like mom and dad saying it now. You're like, fuck.
Yeah, exactly.
yeah,
That'll be in the 6. Dad, what are you talking about? You're in your
Exactly.
60s.
Yo, that
Don't do
homie.
that.
What?
Fuck.
Yeah. So I mean, I tried to think of a way where I can pivot this and turn it into more of a
Yeah.
platform, getting away from the clothing business. So many guys are doing that, and how we can kind of give a platform to these entrepreneurs, these creatives in
Yeah.
our city,
I think that's good. I think that's a good thought. I feel like there's a lot more longevity in that because you're less about a product or service. You're more about there's actually a lot more growth in that platform. And it's like, I say it a lot. It's whatever makes you successful is not what keeps you successful. That's just not how business works. So the ability to know when to pivot or when to cut something's throat when your business is not doing well, I mean, that goes a long way as an entrepreneur because I think one of the big mistakes people make is they get married to their idea or their concept emotionally, and then you don't know when it's time to be like,
They're too proud,
we're dying.
Yeah.
And especially men, I don't know what it is with our egos, but it's just like, I'm gonna just.
Well, you fall in love with the product, the hustle, the business,
Yeah.
where you always want to make it work. So a sign of maturity in business or being an entrepreneur is kind of realizing, hey, this is not working.
Yeah, but I mean,
if you can't pivot.
Yeah, for me, it's been interesting because I'm lucky that like I'm not a passionate entrepreneur about clothing or studios or restaurants or building. I love the puzzle. I love to build something and I love the puzzle.
The process.
Yeah,
Puzzles are
exactly.
I
next.
love the process too.
Yeah.
Mars Puzzles coming out soon.
Yeah. But I know exactly when it's time for me to pivot, make a move, bring someone else on, sell something. Like to me, it's all just a part of this bigger game.
Yeah.
So I'm like, all right, let's move this chess piece around and go like this. For me, it's been easy.
You're just
I'm
taking on
lucky that
any
way.
kind of business and you're trying to see how you can make it successful. It's fucked up.
Yeah, I don't. It's funny. I truly believe it's not what you do; it's how you do what you do. I think it's if you've got a system of how you execute, you can take those same tools and translate them to many other things. And through well over a decade of eating shit with a spoon, it's so good. I've learned failure and I've learned what it takes to win. I just have. So for me now, even like with this studio, I never had a studio. I never built
You like the
soundproof.
challenge
fucking,
of,
yeah.
I like that too, especially if somebody says like, okay, like for example, beer. Like, I don't think you could start a beer company. Like, really? Let's do it.
Almost did
Right?
it. Yeah, it's like, I got you.
You know, so it's like, but I think that's the problem with today's entrepreneur is that they don't have the patience, or we want instant gratification.
100%.
So it's like, I want to start a clothing, I want to start a studio, I want to become an artist. Like, oh, I didn't go viral on the first try. It's not for me. Don't
Fuck
worry
it.
about it.
They don't know the hard work.
Exactly.
Well, God, you're hustling though, because like I mean, I met you and I didn't know you did anything with clothing or any kind of branding. I was like, that's the incense guy. I was
Yeah.
like, you hustle. I
made
know.
you made the studio smell real
Yeah.
good. for
Yeah,
a few
dude. I
weeks,
walked in a day later. I was like,
Every
holy
day I
fuck.
came in here, I'm like, this is wonderful.
Yeah.
What's going on in here?
Yeah, so I like that challenge. I like that. I guess in the same boat in a sense. It's like when I do something and it's like that challenge is over and it's already been done. It's like now.
Okay, what's next?
Yeah, like it's
yeah.
not that I get tired of it, but it's kind of like, okay, well the challenging part's over. We got through it. Now it's ever.
You've
now
hunted
what
and
do we
you've
do?
killed.
Yeah, so like what do we do
After
now?
you eat the meal, you need another meal.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's a different type of entrepreneur. I believe that there's
Yes.
two kinds. I think that there's the nurturer, which is the one that has one business and they love it to death. It's like take Michael for example. Michael's a comedian. Michael's going to do acting. Michael's going to do content and entertainment. That's his thing. It's like an athlete. Like they have their one thing that they fucking thrive.
I'm like an athlete,
sort of.
That was the
athlete of donuts.
That was the comedy part, right?
I fucking like this guy now, man. Make me feel awkward. My pants, they're a little tight today though.
I'm wearing super tight pants today too.
I'm not.
Yeah, like I got this. But then there's the other type of entrepreneur that's like us, where it's like you build a puzzle and you have to move on. So you don't have one business. You don't have a family restaurant that you stay there all for like 20, 30
Well, I
years.
was in the family business for 15 years
But
to
I
the
c-
point where it was
yeah.
like, I don't want to do this.
No, you need that
Yeah.
change.
Yes.
Otherwise, it's almost like it's somewhat like it's being imprisoned. And like I can't stay there.
In
I
a
can't
box.
Stay.
Well,
That's exactly it.
some entrepreneurs are okay with having that one restaurant that gets them by, that
But
gets them
that's
that
what they
house,
do.
that gets.
Yeah.
But they're happy. They're
Yes.
like, I'm good. I won restaurants to be
I made it,
successful.
yeah.
Yeah, and
Okay.
that's
That's
it's
true.
all about what they want. Though.
That's the self-awareness.
Yeah.
It's knowing the tools that you've got and what you love to do.
Yeah.
And I'm lucky enough that I've figured out through many errors, trial, and all the other fun shit, what I'm like and what I love to do. And for me, it's the same as you. Is I'm like, okay, what's the next puzzle? What am I going to build now?
How do you say no to something if somebody pitches you an idea?
Honestly,
Doesn't.
no.
I mean, I had that problem up till like last year.
I do. No. I actually. I feel bad a lot of times people give me ideas because my whole life all I've done
Grape
is
sauce.
I've poked holes in people's ideas.
Right.
I grew
That's
up.
not gonna work.
No, but I'm very decent about it because I don't want to take the wind out of their sails.
Right.
But I'm actually very cautious. So I would say it's like this. When I was 20 years old, I'd pick up 10 projects, one would work. And not even wildly successful, it would just work. Then by the time I was 25, maybe 3 out of 10 would work. By the time I was 27, 28, now we're talking like 6 out of 10. But now that I'm 34, everything I pick up, albeit not that all of them are successful, but anything I pick up, I can bring to fruition because I know how to execute now. So now I am actually quite selective. Like people don't bring a lot of their ideas to me unless they feel like they're complete, and I turn down so
Because you
many.
built that respect to be like,
Yes.
they got to come correct to you.
Exactly,
Right,
which I
okay.
appreciate. But I'm the first person to poke holes in everything. I'll be decent about it. And I'll tell people maybe they should try this or that or whatever it is.
But you do need that person too, but not everyone. Not everyone to tell you is a yes man to be like, that's a great idea. That's a great idea. You need to be like, hey, actually, you know what? That's not actually gonna work the way you think it's gonna work.
The way I see it is like there's a certain part of you that wants to save someone's emotions and how they feel, and I know that I can do that while also telling them no, this isn't gonna work. Because if you tell someone, yeah, give it a shot, or hey, try this, or hey, I do that. If you won't do it, then you're just telling them, you're sending them down the wrong path.
That's true.
And there's so much value, and even if someone doesn't like me for it, there's a lot of value in pointing people in the right direction because you're saving them a lot of time and a lot of trouble. And a lot of the same things that you and I have probably gone through. That if I can tell you, don't touch the stove, it's hot, I'm going to tell you not to.
Right. I believe in learning from other people's mistakes. If you
100%.
said, don't do this, then there's no reason I should make that same mistake. So it's but not everybody wants to listen. And learning on your own process is beneficial to a certain extent. But
I agree.
In the day and age we're living in now, where you can Google or YouTube almost anything that you can, like you have enough resource information to make a educated decision on a business move. So it's like I don't understand why people just don't take the time to research that. I think it goes back to self gratification and the aspect of basically being
get rich quick.
Yeah,
When kids are young, they
we
have
see all these
everybody's
Ty
got an
Lopez
idea.
and Gary Vee. When people ask him, you give out all this information for free, why? He goes, well, 99% of you are gonna do shit with it anyway.
Exactly.
Ideas are shit. No one executes. It's so
You know what
true,
I'm saying? So it's like, it's that the entrepreneur in today's society is like, if they don't get that instant gratification or that get rich quick, it's like that's too.
They're not fucking entrepreneurs. Here's the thing with
it's true.
entrepreneurship.
It's a bucket list.
Entrepreneurs are hardwired. Just like a guy that's 7 feet tall plays in the NBA. Entrepreneurs are hardwired the same way. You just can't fucking see it. And the problem is people can hide under this cloak of invisibility of bullshit for 2 years before you find out the guy's a fucking joke. Or the girl. She can also be a fucking joke. But when basketball, it's like, can you dunk the ball? Are you better than me? Can you play in the NBA? Super fucking clear. With entrepreneurship, it takes time. But I honestly believe that it is so fucking similar. People just can't see it. So it can be challenging.
I mean, I did try to start my own business, and again, everyone just started laughing at me, so I figured I'd just be a comedian. Fuck.
It's working.
It's hard though, you know what I mean? Like, I tried a couple things. I went to school to be a chef.
Yep.
I want to do my own restaurant with you, like a separate one. Then I just started not feeling right, and then I started trying to do the construction with Pops. Again, it wasn't me. It wasn't what I was feeling, and I wasn't hardwired to do it. And like, if I could, you know what? I could have eventually been successful at it, but I would have fucking hated every minute of it, and it would have taken a lot of effort. Yeah. And I probably wouldn't have gotten that far. So like I kind of like realized that that's not for me. You helped me realize that too. But like, Jesus, I'm not hardwired to be an entrepreneur. That's just not my thing.
It's a self-awareness game, and I think the biggest thing is that I think I helped you find that awareness in yourself.
Absolutely.
And you're asking me if I think people are born?
Yeah, you think they're born or you think they made an entrepreneur?
I think you're born as an entrepreneur.
I believe so too.
I think you're born with those skills, and in today's society, we translate that into entrepreneurship because I just think that's the way you're hardwired. I think that you can be nurtured to go a long way.
Yes.
And I think that's where you get a lot of times when you get an entrepreneur, in my opinion, where they have the one restaurant or they have the one business. I think that what they did is they actually created a management position or a job for themselves, and they do some extra admin work. I don't really think in my heart that that's what I would call an entrepreneur.
Right.
In my opinion, like, you got to have, and this is only my own opinion, and there's probably really no validity to this, so take it with a grain of salt, but I feel like you have to have 2 to 3 businesses that are different to be an entrepreneur. That's what I think. That's
to
how
show
I feel.
that you're versatile and able to.
Yeah, like, to me, that's what I think that word encompasses, in my opinion. But I mean,
That's
it's
fair.
There's a difference between being an entrepreneur and a small business.
And a business owner.
Business owner, yeah.
Yeah, that's really it.
Yeah,
like,
absolutely.
if people ask, I met a guy the other day, his name was Billy, really, really nice guy. He does something similar in terms of being an entrepreneur. And we sat down, we were at dinner with my buddy Jordan, and he goes to me, "Oh, hey, John," I'm like, "What do you do?" I said, honestly, it probably sounds kind of cheesy, but like, through and through, I'm an entrepreneur. And here's, I gave him like a 10-second, like, here's the things that I do. He's like, "Oh, no shit." It was like, he's like, that's not silly at all. He's like, "That's exactly what you are." He's like, "It's refreshing. It's good to hear. It's nice." But
So would you define yourself as a serial entrepreneur?
yeah, 100%.
Cool.
Yeah,
He's a fucking madman, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I see it all. I live with the guy now. It's fucking hard to keep up with.
Yeah, it's one of the valuable lessons I think I'm learning right now is leverage of time and money.
Yep.
It's like I'm always right on the edge, and then I just keep hiring people. Like, I'm always like, okay, too much on my plate, hire another person. And obviously I hired skill workers anytime I open a business. But I mean, I'm getting to the point where I'm starting to fatten up my personal like staff. Like, I'm having people that are just working directly for me now because I'm like,
It's an extension of your hand.
Yeah.
Dude, the other day you walk in and I'm like, I think I made you have, like, I don't know if I do this to you sometimes. So you had like a bit of a hard day. Like, sometimes you just have that. You're like, you're watching like, fuck, too many things to do. I'm like, when are you gonna start hiring assistants? You have fucking 3 or 4 businesses now. You're doing it all on your own. He's like,
But
yeah.
I think that's
You
going
need
back
that
to
shit.
the hardwire. Is like myself, running 2-3 different businesses, doing all these ideas. Like I just came from a meeting here. One of my buddies texted me, you know, they're going for a drink. I'm like,
Nice.
I got to do a podcast. Like it's just like there's a different way you're wired and a different mentality you have of doing it. And I think we like to hold on to all the business, doing everything, because it's part of the struggle and the challenge. It's like we feed off that.
but there is a breaking point where you have to say,
Yes.
you have to be like, there's proud and then there's, oh fuck, I'm not gonna be
I
able to
don't
make
think
it.
it's necessarily a proud thing or like, you know, egotistical thing. It's just like you have to feel like you're doing all this. Like
Yeah, fair.
it's like I
That's
just
what
want.
that's what makes you. That's what
fulfillment,
makes you
yeah.
the
Well, yeah,
entrepreneur.
yeah, it's a,
Yeah.
it's a
Okay,
fulfillment.
It's
thing.
not necessarily
yeah,
like I can trust you with the entire business, but it's like I still kind of want to do it all.
Yeah.
okay, I get you.
That's such an interesting thing. So that's one of the transitions I went through probably just before Christmas, where I was like, I have to stop swinging a hammer. I have to stop making drinks. I have to stop. You know, I can't do these things anymore. I can't actually be a function in the business. I have to quarterback everything. And as soon as I did that, I actually got a lot of clarity. It was a tough couple weeks because, like you said, I enjoy doing it.
Yeah.
But like you think about, okay, building some walls or helping build the studio, it's like it's
Your
good.
time's
val-
better spent somewhere else.
It is, and it's hard sometimes to realize that because you spend your years failing, then you spend your years figuring out, then you sort of hit your stride and work really fucking hard. And a lot of your success comes from the fact that you can put up the walls
Yes.
or make the drinks. So then when you start looking at it, okay, now I'm starting to scale up even more, but I got to stop doing all the things that made me successful. It's a challenge. It's a tough pill to swallow.
Eventually, you have to pick and choose. You have to.
Well, it's like,
What's
what do you
more
want to do?
important?
Do you
Yeah.
want to have the businesses that you operate, a few of them, or do you want to scale up and make $1 billion? And it's getting through those hurdles or that whatever that next big step is.
Yeah.
And I feel like I'm right at the. I just had to take a big one recently, so it's been interesting. I'm still fighting my way through it, but I'd probably say in like another 2 to 4 months, I'm just gonna be flying at like a fucking 100 miles an hour.
So how do you get that work balance life with family,
There's
friends, or wife?
there's no.
Family?
Everybody.
I live with him. I better
Everybody
talk to
just
him.
works with me. Everybody, they all do. Everybody just works with me, man.
What are you
I have-
doing here still? Go work.
No, I have. So someone said something the other day, and it was really interesting. Adriana, this girl I haven't talked to in a lot of years, so we started chatting the other day because she was able to connect me some dots with one of my tech platforms. So we started chatting about it, and we were talking about how chaotic life can be. And I was saying, I feel like there's no balance. I'm just full-blown chaos. And she made a good point. She's like, well, the more balanced you are on the inside, the more chaotic things can be on the outside because you can maintain it.
That's true.
And I never had that perspective, but I appreciate it and I agree with it.
Yeah.
Like my life is batshit crazy
Yeah.
from the minute I wake up to the minute I go to bed. And I'm a 7 o'clock wake up guy now. I never used to be, but I am now. And
It was 7 o'clock in the morning.
dude, it's been so good to me. I needed more
It's
hours.
honestly hard to live with you though because I feel so bad about myself waking up at 8 o'clock. I'm like, he's gone. I'm like, he's texting me already twice. Where are you? Like, it's hard. It's, fuck.
You know what? I stopped drinking for the year and I started waking up early. And those 2 big adjustments I made have gone a long way for me so far. Like the amount of shit I have done by 10 a.m. is fucked. But
Because you stopped drinking? Because
Yeah.
you woke up early?
Yeah, no shit. Yeah, fuck
man,
you.
I lost like 10% of my year last year at boozing and being hungover. I was like, fuck this.
He did the math on it. Like, I'm gonna find out exactly how much time I lost.
Yeah, it's going to booze. Time's going to booze.
Yeah, I mean, I think the thing is I'm always chasing myself, right? I'm never where I want to be. I'm always chasing more than I have. And so you have to continue to grow and shed your skin and become better and better and better all the time. So for me right now, my balance is not necessary. I can appreciate being fully 100% committed every single day of my 30s at least to what I'm doing. When I hit 40, I believe life is full of chapters. It's a big book.
Yes.
And I think when I hit 40, I'm going to flip the page. And while I'll still be an entrepreneur, I'll be an 80% entrepreneur. And I think I'll have things in place where my 80% at 40 will fucking crush my 110% at 34.
Yeah.
But that's where I'll be.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So for now, I'm okay with it. I'm learning very
Putting
quickly.
in the dues right now.
Yeah, that's exactly it. It's like, you know what, in high school, those guys that wrote code and are now billionaires,
Yeah, yeah.
I fucked chicks. So
Yeah.
shit didn't work out for me. Like, it's fine. It's what it is.
I didn't either. Fuck, man. I ate pizzas. Still eating pizzas. Fuck.
So
You
it's
got
like,
the comedy that's going to pay off soon.
yeah,
I'm hoping, man. Fuck. I'm trying to get fatter. No one wants to laugh at a fucking fit guy. I'm telling you right now.
true, yeah.
Go fuck yourself, man. Hope you die.
Yes.
Abs.
Abs.
Fucking asshole.
It's overrated.
It's kind of where I'm at
it's
now. I've kind of accepted it.
So you've also started a media break for the media agency, a branding agency.
Yeah, branding agency. So I've been involved in that for quite some time. When I kind of got out of the detailing aspect of the job,
Yeah.
the family-run business, it was 15 years. Actually, when I was 14 years old, my dad got into an accident at work, left work to run it, pretty much fell into the business my entire rest of my life for 15 years. Came to a point where I was like, you know what? My dad passed away 5 years ago. Took over the business for 5 years. And then it was emotional decision as well, because it's like, my dad built this up. I worked with him for all this time.
Of course.
He left it for me. It's like, I don't really want to do this. I kind of fell into it. And I had a conversation, you know, with my fiance and my sister, my mom. It's like, I don't really want to do this. Like, wait, well, what do you want to do? I'm like, I like that entrepreneurship. I like to build businesses. I like to work with other entrepreneurs, branding, getting them up, doing that. My business partner, he was like a web developer, web designer. So it's like, I was doing this on the side regardless. So it'd always be that friend that people would come to be like, hey, I have this idea. Just like how you're saying, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, well, how do I get paid to do that then, if they're coming to the ideas, right?
Yeah.
Or how to turn this into a business. So we closed up the detailing shop and I did that. And it's been successful ever since, right? So it's been working out, but that's just on like balancing and juggling like 6-sided the brand. But the reason I'm asking you how the balance is because when you have multiple businesses going, if you don't put the right foundation or structure in place, you can't give 100% to every business. It's impossible.
Can't. You simply can't. No, you just don't. You're not able to.
No, you can't. So like, I would shift my focus around, but then you see one kind of losing. Its momentum, and then so you have to put people in place. So
that's the biggest thing.
You got to put
finding the right people.
Finding the right people, which I'm learning. But again, it goes back to what you said. It's like I still kind of want to be the guy posting on Instagram while replying to the customer, while going to a discovery meeting, while selling e-commerce and packaging it. Like you can't. No. At some point you have to, right?
Yeah.
You have to kind of draw the line and be like, I was listening to a guy recently. He goes, I own 14 businesses, but I don't run them all day to day, right? And Steve Harvey, I was watching something. He goes, even though he's so rich and successful, he's like, I hire a CFO for the company that is good with money, that went to school for money. He goes, he handles the money. So it's like, even for operations, for your restaurants, for example, it's like you hire a front end guy, you hire a head chef. It's like you can't cook the food, serve all the tables, do all that, do all the branding, meet with the vendors and like you're gonna burn out at some point, right?
Yeah, fuck yeah.
And that burnout may be a burnout where you can't come back from.
That's
a mental breakdown.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Yeah, I mean, for me, like you said, the big thing is hiring out. It's making sure you got the right people, you give them the autonomy, and you give them the right incentive to stay invested long term. So, like my restaurant strategy is guys own small parts of my business.
Right.
The restaurant team has been a really good foundation for me because I have an amazing restaurant team. It's so fucked. Like I'm at the restaurant 5 hours a week. Otherwise, it does its fucking thing. Like you got to go mind the fence, watch this and that. This guy drank too much.
We automated most of it.
Yeah. But that's exactly it. And it's for me. That was the biggest thing I had to be able to let go of. And now everything else is just finding the right people and keeping them motivated. One of the hard things that I find that you can't take away. Like it's not a fucking option. You can stop making drinks. You can stop swinging a hammer. Like the construction company we have is starting to blow up, so I don't have to do any of that stuff. But if I take myself out of the equation, a lot of these people came to bat for me. Right. My personality, my energy, what I created. That's it. So if you're not there enough for them, it's not that they don't still respect you and want to be a part of your business, but you're the fuel that was keeping that fire going. So you have to be around. That's the biggest thing I'm finding is I still have to make time to be around, to motivate. Like even when Meg and I go to the restaurant, she's like, oh, do you want to call in food or something? I'm like, no. Let's go in. Let's chat with everybody who's there. Sit down, spend a bit of time there, talk some shit, order some food. If we can eat, we'll eat there. If not, we'll take it. But at least I'm there for 20 minutes, half hour.
Right. Yeah.
So you just keep everybody. Yeah. And the thing is I treat everybody well. I love everybody. Don't think I'm better than anyone. I don't think anybody's better than me. I am not a boss. I'm just not. In my heart, like everybody works with me, and I'm just a leader, and that's the way it works. And everybody, for me, I'm grateful. Everybody's just crushed it. Yeah. So I mean, as long as you can continue doing that and you're hiring out the right way, I think you can scale up. But like you said, how do you take your hands off things? Start with one person that you know you can trust.
Or that people will trust.
Let them
run
with it. Yeah. Let them run with it. Let them make mistakes because it's gonna fucking happen. And then
that's the only other way that you're gonna get people that can actually that will still come to bat for you, like you said. If you have people that are running small businesses that are like you, that give them the same motivation, that act the same way as you, because
it's like I hire. Honestly, I hire. Wow, that was a tough thing to say. I hire based on energy and synergy, and attitude and personality. Like I'm at a point now where I have to hire specialized people with skills, but I hire primarily based on your behavior and attitude. Yep. How do you get along with people? How much of your ego have you shed? How self-aware are you?
Well, you could teach skills, right?
That's exactly it. No, that's exactly that's what I've found. It's like if you find someone that's a problem solver, that's competent, they've shed their ego and they've got a good personality, I'll fucking take that person all day. And now if they've completed a project, if they've done project management from start to finish and started something and actually executed, even if it failed, that's my new favorite person.
Right.
Fuck out of here. That's awesome.
At least you've been through the process of it.
Yeah, they know what it's
it.
like. They know what it's like to fail. They know it's not that bad. They know how to mitigate their issues. They know how to problem solve. You know, they're not just calling you every fucking 10 minutes. They know how to put out fires.
Yeah, yeah.
Which is huge.
No, that is.
That's exactly it. Yeah, man. Fuck.
So social media, we've talked about it. Social media is the forefront of any business nowadays. Like it's kind of the first thing you see. It's the first thing that's like the most important, I find.
Yeah.
Like how are you finding it difficult to build a following on Instagram or like any social media like YouTube or anything like that?
Like I find the algorithms on these platforms to be very
me?
challenging.
Yeah.
No, they're talking to you.
No.
Billy, yeah, I mean, I guess even when in 2014 when I launched a brand on Instagram, it was kind of like a new thing, right? And you could get, you know, I was fortunate enough to work with a lot of influencers in Toronto, whether on YouTube or Instagram or whatever platform they're on, or within the city or Canada, and you know, sometimes exchange, you know, a post for some apparel or something promotion.
Yeah.
Now, I mean, everyone and their mom has like booking info in their bio.
Everybody's
right?
a fucking influencer.
So I mean,
You're not an
you can
influencer.
message like, you know, somebody that's like going to university, they've got like 200 followers, and they'll send you a media kit for like $50, like $50 per post,
What?
right? So it's like it's a different time on social media.
Yeah.
So I mean, is it hard to get? I mean, with content and consistency.
Yeah.
That's what
content is king.
Content is
Always-
king and consistency, because everyone's looking for something. We all follow different things, not necessarily brands, but you may follow a lot of comedy guys.
Yeah, same
There's
thing.
a reason
Yeah.
you follow it. You may follow comedy apparel. You may follow comedy skits.
Yeah.
But like that's what you're interested in. So once somebody stops posting, you're gonna come disengage with them. And,
That's
and stop following,
that's my
right?
issue too. Like for me, like I had a time where I was putting out so much, and then I'd fall behind for a little bit, and then it'd be like a week or
Well,
like,
you become irrelevant.
yeah.
Yeah.
Then the thing is, people don't see it for a while, and then they're like kind of like
What happened to that guy?
Yeah, they don't see it,
And it's hard to get them back.
And then also the algorithm as well. So like if you don't post for a long time and no one's seeing your shit or liking
Yep.
your stuff, you're not gonna pop up on their pages anymore.
Yeah.
Like, and then you're just eating shit, and I spent like say 3-4 days editing and filming a skit, and it gets like no engagement because no one saw it. I'm like, fuck. So like being consistent, I find is the hardest fucking thing because
it's a full-time fucking job.
It is.
yeah.
And it is. Like, I agree. Every person and every company is becoming brand first, then whether you're a company or your person. So it's like people have to become more professional and brands have to become more real. They have to provide more of a personality.
Yeah.
I mean, you
So-
could have a shitty product, but if your branding is done
Yeah.
well,
That's
and
fucking
you
that's real though,
crush.
yeah.
And the thing is that, like, I know Instagram and YouTube, I guess last year, year before, made it a rule that you have to post that it's an paid ad,
Yeah.
you know, for whatever product you're promoting.
Yeah.
Because guys just getting paid. I mean, this could be the shittiest meal we're eating. And we're like, oh, this is great. I love it. I eat this every day. You spit it out when the camera's off.
Yeah.
But you're getting paid to do it.
Yeah,
So,
yeah,
of course, it's the best, right?
Yeah, actually.
So, sorry. Yeah, I mean, even just the trustworthy of these products and these brands is difficult on social media.
Yeah.
So you mean just believing in a product? There's so many influencers.
Yeah.
I mean, everyone's an influencer. Like, don't get me wrong. I've worked with a lot of influencers. I know guys that are doing it. It is a way that they do pay the bills, but I mean, it's not for everybody.
Well, the challenge with this is, first of all, like the influencer market is going to triple in size by the end of 2020 to $6 billion a year market, which is fucking psychotic.
And large brands are recognizing they have to reach consumers through
of course,
influencers.
Yeah.
And if you look at the statistics, like 50 to 60% of companies in like that were polled in like Canada, United States, it might have just been the States actually, I don't remember specifically, but 50 to 60% had a budget for influence marketing in the upcoming year. That's crazy.
Yep.
But the thing is, how can you expect someone who has not positioned their brand, who doesn't have, let's say, at least 5, 10, 20,000 followers, and then like call them micro influencers, and what they want to do is they want to help sell your product. You don't know how to sell a product. You don't know how to position anything. You don't know what the fuck you're doing. Albeit your reach may be genuine and high because they're your friends and family and they're local.
Yep.
You don't have the skill set for this. So I think it's like it's a bit of a mess right now for me in the market.
I think it's kind of fucked though. At the same time, if Instagram goes down, or if it ever did go, it's like these people that are so powerful, they literally have nothing. A lot of them just have that. Some
Well,
of them
there
have
was like a
businesses.
meme or something the other day,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
if I took away Instagram, like, what would you do, like, tomorrow?
You're no longer a
You,
model.
yeah, you're no longer a
Yeah,
model.
and it's
you
like
know?
a lot of them have been smart enough to make their own businesses or like branch
Yes,
off,
yeah.
but some of them don't, and they just rely on people to rely on them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And if they're not relevant anymore,
Well, it's attention. The value of attention. I think right now what's happened is before, if you had like a MySpace account, I know this is old. I know I'm dating myself here. Fuck yourselves.
MySpace. what's
40
the-
almost. I don't know.
And then when that
Google.
died, no one converted their following. Or very few people converted a following on MySpace to Facebook.
Right.
Now, when Facebook started slowing down, or when something else pops up, or Twitter, when they started to curtail, some people now started to take their fan base and shift it over to where the attention is.
Yeah.
That's going to keep happening.
Yeah.
So as soon as some other platform pops up, like it's solidified itself, and there's a cyclical nature to social platforms now, where as soon as it starts to go down, and I think Instagram's taking a bit of a hit right now. I think it's going to. There's just nothing to replace it. People will shift their audience
They
to
want
this
something
new
new.
platform.
Yeah.
But the only thing is, like right now, what I find interesting with Instagram is we're due for another social platform, but nothing else is out. So we're in this sort of stalemate between.
We'll take what we have.
Everybody's like, the algorithm sucks. I can't grow anymore.
But I gotta
I'm
be
here
on
for
here.
I'm here for attention.
Yeah.
But you're not giving me any. What the fuck else am I gonna do?
Yeah.
So as soon as something else pops up, all the users are gonna go, fuck you, Instagram. Then Instagram's gonna dial back, change their
Are they
algorithm
actually, do you
again.
think they're actually going to change it back
I
again?
think they're going to
Yeah,
dial
they
back,
have to,
change
wouldn't
it
they?
again, and increase engagement and allow people to grow their platforms again and get more
Timeline,
attention.
Yeah.
Weren't a lot of people going over to recently Twitch? Like a lot of people were on
Is that a
Twitch.
gaming
It's
platform?
a gaming thing where people are using it for
Live
content, live
Yeah,
streaming.
that's what you were
Things
saying
like
too.
that,
Like
yeah.
that's
Yeah,
that's
some of them switch. I mean, you just have to stay relevant, and you have to recognize as a
you have to see what's going to happen next first.
Yeah, an influencer or a brand. Like I mean, even with our brand or even brands in general, you have a strong platform.
Yeah,
Very rarely a brand is strong on all platforms.
I agree.
Yeah.
Right, so it's like it's either your Instagram, your Twitter, like
YouTube,
yeah.
yeah.
You have to know where your platform is. You're not going to reach everybody, but Gary Vee talks about it a lot too, and this is something we deal with our clients as well. Is that your content created cannot be the same for all platforms.
No, you have to read the context and alter it.
Exactly.
Yeah,
And
100%.
who's there? Like Facebook is
Yeah.
an older group. Like
Exactly.
you're saying, you know what I mean? Like, and Instagram is that younger group.
Yes.
I always think of things in terms of time. Like Instagram, I'll give you a minute. Facebook, I'll give you 3 to 5.
Mm-hmm.
Twitter, I'll give you 15 seconds. But then on YouTube, I can give you up to an hour.
Yeah.
And it's understanding
is-
that
yeah.
context. But we had a conversation with someone today that was interesting about. So we're launching a show for Eat Famous.
Okay.
And he's become a good friend of mine actually, and he's got like 273,000 followers or something on Instagram, and he's trying to go, okay, it's the food stuff on Instagram's curtailing, the engagement's slowing down. He said, I was on Instagram early, so a lot of the followers may be dead ending at this point or just getting new account, whatever it is. So he's like, okay, I'm transferring over to some new stuff. And the ideas are great, but Megan and him were like, oh, we could do the show up to an hour. I said, no. No one knows this show. So if I know you, but I don't know your show, am I going to give you an hour if I see you on
No,
YouTube?
that's the
No, I
thing.
said 30 minutes max. You can work it up to an hour.
That's even a long
Like
time.
like even 20.
Yeah,
like,
but you know what I mean though. Like if
Yeah.
you see like
like
that's why I
vlogs
said-
that are 20 minutes long, you're
that's
like,
why-
holy
that's why I said
fuck, those are like
max.
3-month vlogs.
If you look at cooking shows, you get like 20. I would say you're probably right. 15 to 20 minutes is there. But
The
you know,
actual show, yeah.
this is
Yeah.
a bit of a different. This is a bit of a different layout. But I was like 30 minutes max, dude. I was like, you want to work yourself up to 2 hours and be like Joe Rogan? Awesome. I'm so glad I'm producing this for you.
Our attention
But-
spans are so short now. Like,
Oh, fuck
The
yeah.
even
thing
if
is-
you're scrolling, you're watching a video, and an ad pops up. I mean, I'm guilty of it. Like ad, I'll just move on to the next
Yeah, I'm
video.
like, nope.
Yeah, forget the ad. I'll just start another video.
Yeah, I see that when I'm on stories. I'm flicking through story. I'm like, no.
Well, the thing about different platforms, you have to know too. Like that the Facebook has the older people, Instagram has younger. But you have to realize that people on YouTube, it's like Elena. Like the people that are on YouTube daily, they're the people that will watch 10, 15, 20-minute
They're
episodes of a
religious,
lot
yeah.
of things.
Yeah,
You know what I
that's
mean?
true, yeah.
That's why you have to change the content for everything, because if you make something that is decent, that is trending on YouTube, that's 20 minutes long, people will watch it.
Well,
But,
like we do even with the podcast on Instagram, you give like the highlight.
Yeah.
So it's like if it seems interesting enough or it piques interest in someone, they'll go watch the full episode.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
exactly
Which
it.
is what you have to do, right? Which is just creating your content for different platforms.
You gotta flip the pyramid upside down and kind of
Right.
drive them in. Yeah, I feel you.
It's a funnel,
interesting.
right? Yeah.
That's such an interesting thing. Yeah, we'll see how it goes. I
Yeah,
find it to
sure.
be sort of a long game strategy.
So I'm actually gonna give you. I looked on YouTube for you. I didn't see that you guys were posting on YouTube. So I'm just gonna. Okay, so I know you guys have 60 seconds
Yeah.
in the 6. Here goes. Free, no charge. 6 minutes in the 6. What up?
So I mean that is something. It's a great idea, but we're kind of working on that already. But I know thanks.
I like it.
Thanks for encouraging me. Yeah. We'll definitely credit you.
Oh fuck
Nice.
yeah, man!
Producer
I
credit.
just want a fucking free hat.
60 minutes.
Yo, shut your fucking mouth, man. That was my next
Revolutionary
thing.
idea.
Yeah.
Episode 2, when you're back, 60 minutes. All right.
Then we can do a DVD series 6 hours.
Nice.
That's it, man.
Or Netflix.
6 weeks
Nice.
in the 6.
I was
Next
actually-
special.
I was actually watching a Netflix thing. It was this an influencer thing actually. And they were like 9-minute episodes. I was like, I didn't know you could do that.
On Netflix.
Interesting. Yeah, I guess it's sort of an
No
open,
shit.
more of an
That's
open
what I was
source.
thinking about the other day.
Yeah,
I don't know if I'm crazy. I was thinking about doing fucking.
Definitely crazy.
Is there no podcast on Netflix?
Well, no, I don't think it'd be podcast.
But like, why not like video of like vlogs
Oh,
or anything like
video.
that? Like something like that was.
Talk shows.
Yeah, that's fair
we
enough.
want to do
yeah.
talk shows. Yeah, what is that?
But
I
like,
mean,
I guess something that's not like that's funded like a Jimmy Fallon show. You know what I mean? That's fully funded.
interesting though, because they're doing a lot of stand-up. I think they might actually branch into the podcast game. Like, I'm surprised because
Well, Joe Rogan has
the
made a video
only- the
podcast
only
very, very
challenge-
popular.
The only challenge is this: Netflix can monitor all the content that goes on its platform.
Yeah.
Podcasts, there's no filter, and that's why people continue to do them.
And a lot of them are live.
Yeah, well, the big thing is like, yeah, Rogan goes live with a lot of his stuff too, but a lot of the stuff
obviously it wouldn't be
the
live,
thing is,
though.
a lot of times these things are politically influenced or financially or corporately maintained under an umbrella that wouldn't allow you to say some of the things that you get on podcasts. And if you don't want to filter that content, then you basically are working your way back into just being a fucking radio show.
Yeah.
Like, you're syndicated. All right, then fuck it. So it's almost like the underground nature of podcasts are what really make it
Well,
work.
it could, but the thing is, at the same time, they still throw up rated R shit all the time, man. If you know what you're.
Yeah, but you can filter it. You know that, okay, some girl's going to get stabbed in the face or whatever, like, sweet.
They'll let you know.
Like, yeah.
On the podcast.
Yeah. But yeah, like, you know what you're getting into. But with this kind of stuff, you can say shit. I can say things for 15 seconds that could ruin my life. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but like again, it's not, they're not going to be done live at the same time.
We're gonna
have
you said, though, that might take
just
away
like
from
every
it.
Netflix show or movie, and they have their own editors. Like,
Mike, here's an idea. Free of charge. Podflix. Go.
okay, it is Netflix, but for podcasts.
Nice.
Go.
He just nailed it.
What are we doing? I like this game. No, I know. I don't know. I thought it'd be interesting because like they're becoming so much more popular because of like Joe Rogan and
Joe
a lot
Rogan
of
is
people.
literally the voice of America right now. It's fucking crazy.
It's cool, man.
It's controversial, right?
But the thing is, I don't know.
Kanye West's gonna go on there. He's like, it's we fucking
Joe
jokes.
Joe Rogan is honestly, I don't know what it is. Like, he's such an interesting character. I love watching the guy. Like, if I ever had to emulate my life, if I was older and a little more docile, that's the direction I would go. I say this about a guy who's like double black belt in jiu-jitsu, gi and no gi. But you know what I mean? Like, he's a little more chill.
Yeah.
He gets a little more time
Oh,
to
he's
do.
definitely chill. Yeah.
Yeah, but his natural curiosity and his way of framing questions and his sort of soft nature, but also being like assertive and not letting shit go. Like, he's the perfect personality to be leading the way in podcasts. Like, it just worked out so well.
Someone asked him today. Someone asked him about like, oh, like is Kanye West gonna come on the podcast? He's like, you know what? He's like Kanye wants to get to know me. Like, he's like I'm not in a really big rush. He's like, and everyone was asking him if that would be his like most like his favorite podcast to ever do. He's like,
Kanye's
no.
in church
no.
right now with all his.
Oh, he's starting a new
It's
church.
something like that.
It's called
Get the
Sunday.
fuck
It's
out.
called Sunday Vibes or something, or Sunday something. They don't really talk much about God. It's just a lot of singing.
All right.
He started his own church.
Nice. Good for him. Dad always wanted to start a religion.
A religion.
Yeah.
He probably
Like
drink,
a full
drink,
religion.
drink
Like a
beer
full,
and eat
yeah, my
chips.
dad's probably more like a cult.
Yeah,
Like,
we're
whatever.
gonna eat potatoes and we're gonna drink some beers.
Yeah.
Fuck. All
Yeah,
right.
you actually probably do pretty well with it.
Yeah.
Now that you put it
I'd
like
go,
that.
yeah.
Yeah, it's like,
I'll
Man.
sign up. Where do you sign up?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But like, yeah, but he was like, there's no favorite podcast for Joe Rogan. He's like
Everybody's great.
everybody. I just love having new people on the podcast.
that's interesting.
yeah.
But his stuff is I find so many different episodes to be so fascinating. That's all I listen to in the car now. I just
Yeah.
nerd out to Joe Rogan podcast.
It's so interesting.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's good shit.
I like it.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, I find it interesting. Social media to me is such a beast that I continually try to tame. And as an entrepreneur, it plays such a large role in every game and everything that I do. And that's a big reason why I built the studio is for media production and obviously trying to help others. But our long game too. Like for me, my long game in media is find a way to understand and quantify the value of a brand, know how to 10x the value of that brand through content creation, then start buying brands for 30 million and selling them for 300 and make my $1 billion.
And buy Michael a Tesla.
Nice.
Company car, he
Company
said.
cars
All right,
from
sounds
ours.
good, man. I
That's
like
not
it.
bad.
Plug her
Yes.
in on the side of the building.
So what's next for you? What's next on?
Yes, I was gonna ask that.
What's next?
I mean,
Yeah,
you got the six side. You're
so
building
six
this into the
side.
aggregate.
Yeah, so six sides there. I guess moving into that, more of those. Like to be honest, the 6 minutes we found when we interview people, everyone has a story.
Yeah.
Like it's so amazing that like you're only seeing 60 seconds because
hard.
unfortunately that's what we called the,
Yeah, I
the
know.
segment.
Well, that's
60
all you
seconds.
have.
But it's like some of those episodes we've shot for like half an hour.
Nice.
And then it's just picking out the best 60 seconds. But like they'll tell a story and we're like, Can you just give us one line of that story?
Like, condense it.
But everybody,
It's my life story. Condense it.
Yeah, condense it to like 60 seconds.
1 minute is not enough. It's
No,
really
it's
hard
not.
to get what you want.
So
in
that
there.
whole 6 minutes is a real thing. I don't know if we'll keep the 6 on it. I mean,
Yeah.
kind of because of branding, but like there is every creator, every entrepreneur has a story, and it's just like their come up and their struggles. Every time they second guess it and be like, this is not for me, and then where they are now and what they're doing. So like we need more time than 60 seconds to do that.
Absolutely. No.
So it's pretty hard to get it all out there, but that's the direction we're
Well,
going.
if I'm being honest with you, I watched them. I watched like a lot of them on your Instagram page, and I was like,
Oh, thanks.
I would honestly like I would watch 6 minutes, 10 minutes. I'd watch a 10-minute episode of people in Toronto because I'm from here. I think it'd be
Maybe
super.
you'll be the first one.
Hey,
To
what's up,
launch
baby?
into the company.
I fucking love it. Honestly, it's
no,
really
I
well
appreciate
edited and
that.
shot. So I think you got something there. Like
Yeah.
really
Dylan's
good.
the guy shooting it. Shout out to Dylan.
Yeah?
He's a good,
Fucking Dylan.
Dylan.
Love you.
Yeah, so I mean that's the brand. I'm looking at and collaborations with other brands in the city. Like I told you before, we're working with another brand in the city. Two brands actually. We did just a campaign with Fedora.
Nice.
Oh yeah, I saw that too. Yeah.
Yeah, so they wanted to highlight 6 restaurants in the 6, so they kind of grasped that idea.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's,
so-
it's actually really a collaboration. Smart.
Yeah, so I wanted to be that platform where we can partner with other brands and stuff like that, and also give the creatives, a space to talk.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's where it's kind of going with that, and like this space is just like perfect. Like
Thank you.
when I came in touch with this place, like it's just like crazy. Like this is what we need, right? So it's pretty interesting to see, where this is gonna go
Yeah,
and
I
everything
appreciate
together. Yeah, I mean that's one. We got a creative agency which we're doing, just trying to grow that, hustle with that. Reverse Karma, which is the incense we're doing here.
Yeah.
Very fortunate for
really
this.
They
nice.
smell really good.
Yeah.
So
So good.
So we partnered with a box called Lunarly Box.
Okay.
And that was where the order was for that we were doing here. Their box, I think I could say this. Their box is actually their silent partner is BuzzFeed.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So BuzzFeed and Scott's Miracle Grow, I believe, combined to get a box out. So that goes out to influencers and things like that.
Nice.
So we're really fortunate to be in that box.
Yeah.
So we don't really know who it's going to now. We're still waiting to see who starts posting.
Yeah.
But it's pretty cool because going back to social media, they also found that the influencers are the ones behind it. So they created their own box to send out a subscription box, right? To play in that market. That's even a whole market on its own, that game, because the way they source products and do all these things, and you get to test these different products.
Yeah.
I don't know if you subscribe to any.
No.
Yeah, I did.
No, I know of them. No, yeah,
Yeah,
no.
I did a socks one like 2 years ago.
Yeah. I
And
almost got caught up in it a few times.
Yeah,
but
I
then
got,
did,
like,
'cause
Bab
like,
socks and shit. They've done that before too.
Yeah, no, I was buying it every month. I got like 4 pairs of socks, and it's like, at one point I was like, I don't really need this, but I didn't cancel it. So every month 4 socks would come, and I started giving them away to people instead of just canceling my membership.
Nice.
It's like Dollar Beer Club and stuff like that. It's like
Dollar
similar.
Shave Club.
I like it though. That's,
Hey man,
it's like
I'll change you over, man.
Dollar Beer Club.
Dollar Shave Club?
Yeah.
Okay, because there was one that you pay. That's like $30 a
I
month
think
though.
we had
for
a
beard
funny
oils
idea of
and
making-
comb.
Yeah, that was Dollar Beard Club. That was their spin-off.
That's what. Okay, that's the only one. That's the one I know of. Okay, yeah. That's
Those
what I
guys
know
are
of.
from Pickering, I think?
Fuck no
Maybe,
shit.
I
Yeah.
think so.
Yeah, they're Canadian.
Oh well, good for them.
Yeah, man. They just
They did really
gave off
well.
that viral marketing. man.
Yeah.
They did some good. They did get some good marketing online. I saw some good.
Yes.
They had the fucking live lions and shit in some locker rooms. Like I
Yeah.
was like, what the fuck? Yeah, they went all out for that.
That's good.
I
That's
remember
good,
that.
man. When you strike gold as an entrepreneur, you double down.
Yeah.
You just do. It's like whenever you know you got to push, and you just go right at it.
We're shaving half the faces. We've got a beard the other half.
Fair.
I should do that.
You should.
All right.
All right.
And just do your comedy special like that.
Fuck man.
Nice.
Okay, my special.
Nice.
Just go
Wow.
straight to the
You are
special.
special.
My tires are fucking pumping up right now.
Look at it.
Half a beard and a full comedy special. All right.
Oh, that's good shit.
It's good to
40
dream.
million. That's what Dave Chappelle got, right? 40 million?
Jesus Christ.
40 million
really?
for two?
For two,
yeah.
yeah.
That's
Yeah.
fucked. I
Dish
love
Chappelle
him.
money.
He's a fucking beauty.
Did you
Yeah,
watch
he's
the
a
Ray
stud.
Romano special?
No.
It's not funny to watch.
I honestly,
Terrible.
It's terrible.
I used to like his shows growing up, but like I think after a while, I
No,
was
he's
like,
funnier before. It's just
Yeah.
not funny.
Sometimes comedy doesn't
hey,
like it doesn't,
Deborah.
it
Yeah,
doesn't
fuck
grow
man.
with your like.
Too much voice in there. Just get
You
out of it.
can't. I don't know when
Kermit
you're
the
funny at a
Frog.
certain time, and that's what's good in that era. But it doesn't really translate moving forward. It doesn't.
Depends who
work
you
like
are.
that.
'Cause some people do move with the times, but some people are
I
just
find
like
that it's very cyclical in nature, in my opinion. But I mean, yeah, it's tough. It's tough to be.
Yeah, what
like-
he said.
It's almost like you tell all your jokes, and then you last 10 years, and you're gone.
yeah, okay, fair enough.
All right.
All right, man. Thanks, man. Cheers.
So you're
Cheers to my future.
Gotcha.
Has it started now?
Yeah, and go.
Fuck. Hey guys, how'd it go? 1 second.
Man. Anyway, all right, cool. Well, I mean, I appreciate you coming on. It's fucking
Yeah,
sweet.
no problem. That was cool.
It's like my bedtime right now, so I'm gonna go
Is
get
it
some fucking
time?
sleep. It's
I'm
like
just waking up.
10 to
I got some
11.
editing and shit. Yeah, baby.
Yeah, man. I'd be interested to chat with you more and see what we can do with Mars and everything else.
Yeah,
and just
for
kinda
sure.
See how your brand connects. I'm interested to see your six-side thing kind of
Yeah.
grow. I like that you're doing the aggregate side of things.
Yes.
I had some really good thoughts about doing something like that too, so I'd be interested to sort of rack your brain. And
for
I
sure.
think there's a lot going on there. I think there's a lot of value
No,
because
definitely.
people are coming to you with their push, so
Yes.
you're kind of benefiting off of all that. And
Yeah, we're getting the content
Yeah.
at the same time, and they're getting a platform.
yeah.
So it works hand in hand, right?
Very much
it
so.
benefits each other.
And then I think you can spin off and do either more apparel or something else off the brand once you
yeah,
get some traffic.
yeah. Once you get
Smart.
some more, even
You get
even
clout,
as custom
you get industry
pieces.
clout. Yeah, very
exactly.
much so.
Like the
Smart.
Supreme whole
Jonathan just
Yeah,
said clout.
exactly it.
cloud.
That nearly 35. I didn't know what that word was, did you? Wow.
What?
What?
Clout?
Yeah.
What?
Nah, man, you're just old. That was a good word to pull out.
You think that's a young word?
Yeah, for you. Yeah.
Oh my
It's coming back, baby. I'm telling you.
That's an old word, right?
100%.
It hasn't been used for time. Let me tell you what.
I got this.
That's the first time I ever heard you say that.
Where can people reach you?
Where can people reach
Social
me?
media?
Social media at Six Side, at We Are Made Simple, at Reverse Your Karma.
Nice.
Those are all there.
We dig.
Yeah.
All right.
good
Six
shit.
side. Out.
All right. Take care.
Sweet.
That's the shit.
Show.